This will go over using the connectivity into After Effects from Premiere Pro to create a fun motion graphic moment. To get started, make a new sequence. And either type out some text or draw out a shape. I'll start with some text. And here's my fun title. You can edit your title underneath graphics, clicking on Edit. You find the properties for the text here, or off on the left side under Effects Control, you'll also find the properties. It switches to Arial and center it. Next, after I extend the timeline, right-click and select Replace with After Effects Composition. After Effects will launch. Give this project in After Effects a name. And there's our fun title. Quick start keys. P is for position, R is for rotation to expose those keys, S is for scale. We'll be creating automatic position keys. Do this. Go under Window, select Motion Sketch if it's not already selected. Window, Motion Sketch. Off on the right side, you'll see the Motion Sketch panel. Let me make this image a little bigger by clicking on Fit. Motion Sketch records the movement of the mouse and converts it into position keys. Capturing is how fast to capture a 1-to-1 speed as you move across 1 second. It's going to create 1 second worth of animation. If it's at 200, it'll create half a second of animation for every second. Smoothing is usually defaulted down to 1. I recommend setting it to 100. This way you're not creating keys in every frame and your motion will look smoother. How to show this element as it's being recorded, or show with the background on. And then all you have to do is click Start Capture and drag around the title. Start Capture, and then click and just drag around the fun title. Let go. If you press P for position, you'll see the keys created, and then press the space bar. There's the fun title moving. To speed up this animation on the key level, now that it's already been created, after you press the P key to see the keys, marquee select all those keys, and then hold down the Alt or Option key and drag the last key towards the left to compress the time, and now everything will happen a lot quicker. You want to add another key or two here, such as maybe getting this off screen. Move the playback head to wherever you want. You can press the Control key and right arrow to move by frame. You can press the Control and Shift to move every 10 frames. Or just drag the playback head. I'm going to recenter this type right here. And then I'll go forward 10 frames holding down the Control Shift key. And I'll drag this down here, off screen. I'll preview my animation by moving the playback head to the beginning again, pressing the space bar. And that's the animation. Hit Control S. Open up Premiere again. And press the space bar on Premiere to see the same exact animation. You could put a solid right behind it. So create a new color matte. And this will create a solid color. And drag that behind it. Expand it. A little too bright, I think. Click on the solid. Double click on it. And you could choose a different color. A little more appropriate for video. If you want to fade out the end, there's 2 places you could do this. Right now, this is our animation. And either going back to the original After Effects file, or once you did the major motion in After Effects, if you zoom in, move your timeline playback head into here, and you want this to fade out as it goes away. Within Premiere, select this motion graphic layer. Off to the left side under Effects Controls, an opacity key. Move forward 10 frames. 6 frames, I guess, is good enough to get it off screen. And then take the opacity and just turn it down to 0, and that will create a second key. Zooming in, there's the 2 keys. Now we have this fading out. Maybe you want it to fade on as well. Going to the beginning, click the Add Remove Keyframe toggle right there. And that's putting a keyframe at the very beginning. Go a few frames later, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and put another keyframe there. Now go back to that first keyframe, and you could jump back using this arrow and set this keyframe opacity down to 0. Now we have the intro fading in, doing its little dance up here, going out. If you want all this to happen faster, instead of going to After Effects and moving the keys, you could right-click on this layer and go to Speed and Duration and speed it up. This is an example of how you can use the interconnectivity between Premiere Pro and After Effects and bring After Effects motion graphics back into Premiere Pro and continue editing, modifying them within Premiere. In After Effects, you can use this to make the base animated moment and then bring them back into Premiere for continued editing. If you didn't like all this motion, same way you would work on keyframes within Premiere, you would do in After Effects. I don't want all this motion in the middle. I can select all those keys by marquee selecting, and again, the P key exposes the position track, pressing delete, and now you have an animation like this. Slowly doing this, coming around, and then sliding away. Saving it, going back to Premiere, and now it does the same thing out here as well.